the story in the NHL last night was obviously in Calgary with Doughty and Tkachuk, and the Kings get up to a 3-0 lead, and then Calgary just chips away, and it's all Matthew Tkachuk. 2 goals and an assist, gets them into overtime, and of course Doughty scores the OT winner.
And his reaction
was obviously animated.
Is that the Hulk Hogan? Doing the
year, I guess so. Yeah,
he did wind it up.
That's maybe the Austin Matthews or the Patrick Kane. Remember, they went back and forth about this time last year.
I don't know. Did they wind it or just go like that?
I think they just went on their ear. I don't think they did the wind up.
I think the wind up. I love it for the game. I love the rivalry between the two players. But don't you think sooner or later they're just going to say to the media, like, stop asking me about it?
Well,
I hope not.
Every time they play each other, it's a circus, and they just. I think sooner or later they're going to say enough.
I think Doughty put it to bed last night.
Well, of course he wants to. He won, and he scored the OT winner. But Tkachuk didn't put it to bed.
No, but
Tkachuk said, that's great, but I can't wait to play him in 2 weeks.
Yeah, good.
He's not saying I'm letting bygones be bygones. I hope he doesn't.
But Doughty said he's going to run me. That's how he plays. Like, I think Doughty gave him some respect, and you should. He's a hell of a player. Like, he's a fantastic player.
What a goal he scored last night out of the air to himself.
And that was close to being. Was it close to high stick?
It had to have been.
I thought it was close. Like, I don't know if you saw the reverse angle.
That doesn't matter, close. Man. It went in, and they let it go.
Fantastic play.
Yeah, he is one of the more interesting players in the league, Matthew Tkachuk. And I love the fact that the Leafs are loaded with talent. And I'm not, in a perfect world, there's a lot of different players in the league I would love to see here. Sure, a lot of different fan bases would say I'd happily take Matthews on my team or Marner on my team. But I think a guy like Tkachuk, if he played in Toronto, and probably any market throughout the country, he'd easily be the most popular player on the team.
Wendell Clark.
Easily. Like, Gaudreau is a blast to watch.
Right.
I'm not from Calgary. I don't live in Calgary. I find it impossible to believe Tkachuk isn't the most popular player. He is so much fun because he backs it up. He plays with reckless abandon. He's hitting everybody. He scores. He's chirping. He's got the dumb mouth guard. Everything about him.
Yeah.
Everything about him.
Would he be... Well, that's too bad of a comparison, but he's got a little Messier in him, the way he played. You know how Messier played mean but backed it up with skill and stuff? Different, and I'm not going to draw a line to that one. That's a real stretch.
All-time great player.
All-time great player.
He's very unique. He's his own guy, and I agree. He would be the most popular Leaf by a mile.
By a mile. And I think what has become clear, just based on the way the game is played in 2019, it is much more... it's much easier and much more expected for player rivalries to develop as opposed to team rivalries.
Because of the turnover.
Yeah, just because of the nature of the game.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? Like, teams just aren't nasty anymore. You can find a player that's nasty. Like, there's 2 battles in the NHL right now that everyone pays attention to and everyone loves.
Kane and Reeves?
Kane and Reeves and Tkachuk and Doughty.
Yeah.
It's not Vegas, San Jose, although there is an element.
Yeah, because they played in the playoffs 2 years in a row, I believe.
Yeah. But
that's what creates the team.
But those players,
but they promote it like it's a boxing match.
Yeah.
They talk about it. Doughty and Tkachuk can't stop talking about it, and Reeves and Kane. They don't give it the no comment guys. I'm a member of the Vegas Golden Knights. It's not about Ryan Reeves. No, he's like, it's about Ryan Reeves against Evander Kane tonight.
Yeah.
And it's about Tkachuk.
Totally. You call him weak. He's got to get back to the gym.
Exactly.
He's going to get thrown around by a ref.
And that's great for the league, and the league should promote it, but the league is scared to promote it.
Yeah.
Because we all know Steve Moore, Bertuzzi, all that kind of stuff. If there's a gray area of potential fights and potential hits, the league doesn't want to do it. The league does not want to promote it full bore.
It's a little different because in football, guys can crush each other. They're not flat out like
they're not going to fight each other.
Dropping the gloves and stuff. So you're right. There is an element, especially with the focus on concussions and fighting and stuff. I think the league's like, nothing to see here. If it happens organically, go. But it's something you got to be careful promoting.
They don't want to promote it. They're very nervous to promote it.
We can promote it.
The fans want to see it.
Yeah.
The players want to be right in the middle of it. All 4 of those guys, Doughty can say, I want to squash it. He loves being in Canada because he doesn't get that spotlight in L.A.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Every time L.A. rolls through Canada, there's a message sent. Oh, this guy's either the best player that nobody talks about. They've always got a message when they roll through
here. But you know what? He's the first person that people interview because he's a great quote. Like, he gives you what he's thinking at that moment.
Oh, no question.
Like, Brett Hull had a little bit of that. I don't know in our day, like, who else can you think of that was just.
Jeremy Roenick.
JR had that where, the quotes would come out. And
yeah, it was a lot different then because it was just, if a guy in Carolina, we had one beat reporter. There was no Twitter, there was no Instagram.
Exactly.
It
now,
was just.
You're seeing what's happening in Phoenix or LA or, San Jose at the time. Back then, if you were playing against the Coyotes, you didn't really read up on them because you weren't getting the social media notifications.
NHL.com wasn't around.
Yeah,
TSN.ca. You can find any information you want now.
And anything,
tremendous information.
Anything hot button immediately trends.
Yeah.
Like that's, questionable hit, questionable comment, this, that.
That's why I don't want to see this die. I don't want to see Drew
will.
Doughty say, leave me alone. Don't stop now, man. You're just getting going. That was spectacular theater last night. That's like the Rocky franchise after Rocky 2 saying, that's it, we're done. They're still making Rockies.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Well,
people are buying
tickets. They made a Rambo the other day that was...
Rambo's a different story. I wasn't going down that analogy.
So sad.
But they're making Creeds and Creed 2, and they're phenomenal movies. This is probably... that was the end of Rocky 2 last night.
So you're waiting for Rocky. You're waiting for Clubber Lang.
Absolutely.
Is that his name to show up?
I want to see Rocky 3.
Yeah.
Clubber Lang and the Hulkster, and in 4, I want them to play in Russia.
Mickey cashes.
That'd be spectacular.
Mickey cashes his chips though in 3, doesn't he?
Who's Mickey in this?
The trainer, Rocky's trainer.
No, I know that, but in terms
who's
of
the Mickey on the like?
I don't know. That's
We
pretty
don't
morbid.
want to be calling out someone to cash in their chips.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No, obviously. But
maybe the mascot, not the actual person, but like the mascot.
Yeah.
What do they call him in Harvey the Hound?
Yeah, the guy who got his tongue ripped out by Mac T.
Yeah, Harvey the Hound can be. What's his name?
Mickey.
Can't you catch a little chicken? Huh? Catch a chicken, Rock.
How do you write in a character like that?
I watched, for some reason, a couple weeks ago, it was on. And it was Rocky 3.
Dude, I'll tell you what. You put Rocky 2, 3, 4 on, Saturday, I'm all in.
That's my
Everything
point.
goes off.
That's my point. Don't stop writing these scripts now.
Yeah,
Keep writing the movies. I want to see it.
Do we need a road trip to L.A. for the next matchup?
What are the chances they're going to send us out to L.A.
There's zero
for
chance.
Flames Kings on like a Tuesday night?
I think it's an idea. It's an idea.
I would be there in a heartbeat.
I'd be there, but you're right. It's good for the league. It's good theater, and both of those guys showed up. That's the. I think the point that has to be made too is neither one of them turtled. Like Doughty actually served the muffin up that allowed Tkachuk to score that third goal. It was Doughty that threw it up the middle and got picked off, and then Tkachuk scores the game tire. And then in overtime, it's Doughty, and that hits Hamanuk's skate and goes under the bar. Mm-hmm. And his reaction was
he
fantastic.
was elated. He was jacked up.
Yeah.
And he should be.
No, but it's good. There's some great storylines.
Well, it was great that they scored last night because the reality is in hockey, goals are kind of a bonus when you're building up these rivalries.
Yeah.
Just based on the nature of the sport. Again, you're hoping for physicality and maybe a fight. Where if you have a basketball rivalry, you're like, okay, is LeBron going to go off for 40 tonight, or will James Harden go off for 40?
Right.
You know they're going to score. You know when you show up and you see Verlander going up against Mike Trout, someone's going to win that battle. With hockey, you don't know if they're going to score. I mean, in reality, they're probably not going to score.
Although
but the fact that they did last night made it that much richer of a storyline.